Let's do this.
Let's do this.
That one's live.
Live.
That one is live. And we are live. And hopefully nothing breaks today because we want this to work for once.
This is our last shoestring. If it breaks, we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, it always seems to be like that. And we always seem to have problems anyways. Anyway, welcome everybody. We are live. It is Friday, the 27th of April. And we have some things to talk about this week. But first, let's go over some sales and things going on here at the Rally Sport. So, White Line is still an extra 25% off there. Ends Monday with, so if you want to get yourself some spring sway bars, roll center adjustment kits, grip series 1 kits, now is the time. Spring has sprung, and spring into spring with your springs. I don't know. I tried to make that cool. I couldn't do it. Anyway, InGen Technologies, an extra 10% off if you need some dope AF intakes for that extra sucky.
And that also ends Monday. Stop Tech is now 20% off using the code STOP20. Dude, that's huge.
20% off, yeah. And that's everything?
That's everything.
Wow. That is big. So, pretty cool stuff going on. I think we've got some other little deals, little specials as well, like the SCT $40 rebate. But we had a lot going on last week, and this week,
a lot. No, we had some stuff. We had something on Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway. So, but yes, it is Friday. We've got some topics to go over, and some interesting things happened this week, actually.
Yeah, dude, it has been like literally this last half of this week. I don't know what universe we're living in right now anymore.
Yeah, it's really
I'm really
weird.
Confused.
Yeah,
like I probably need to go to a psychiatrist and seek help.
It's just been a weird week, both in the automotive world and the world of international relations, and just
the automotive world is also insane too with Ford.
Yeah. So Ford announced that they're potentially ending the Fiesta, the Focus.
The Focus Active will stay.
Okay.
The Fusion.
Okay. Gone.
The C-Max.
The C-Max gone.
Yeah.
So then what are they going to do? What are they going to sell? F-150s just all day, every day?
Probably CUVs, crossover utility vehicles.
Okay.
Just what the world needs is more crossovers. I swear, like we're back to the 70s to where like everything was a station wagon or like an econo box or like just some like truck that just screamed America when you hit the gas pedal.
You know what we need? We need a oil crisis again. Just to bite Ford, like just so like the day that they decide to stop production, like they literally like close up shop, all the plants are shut down, and all of a sudden Saudi Arabia is like, no.
OPEC's like
OPEC's like, yeah, guess what? Oil's now like $900 a barrel. And then Ford's like, crap, maybe we should have kept around that little EcoBoost Fiesta. Actually, I think if it went,
and it's only in North America, by the way.
Which is the weirdest thing. I mean, because, well, I don't know. But we don't know their sales numbers and stuff. So, like, we don't know why the decision was made or how it was made. But Justin says they're not stopping production. They are just done selling them in North America. Okay.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's stopping production in America. To me, because according to my small little feeble brain, the rest of the world does not exist. So,
that, and plus the only thing that we really ever see is here.
But I have a feeling if the OPEC decided to raise, or if, let's just say there was like another oil crisis, everyone would just switch to electric cars. Maybe that's exactly what we need.
Ooh, maybe that's what they're doing, the whole push.
A conspiracy to get electric car sales going. And then they'll come out with like the Festusion electric
Festival.
Yeah, the Festival electric car. The Festival electrical car. Maybe it's just one big conspiracy theory. And that's cool. But anyway, so this week, if you guys have any questions for us, let us know. And I mean anything at all.
Yeah, because we're busy. Again, like we didn't have too much time to prepare for it. But
that's no excuse.
There it is.
That's making it sound like we're the only reason we're allowing people to ask these questions is because we.
No, man, I spent way too much time yesterday looking at the JFK peppers.
He actually did.
Yeah.
He spent way too much time.
Sorry, guys. This is all me.
Yes. So anyway, but some cool. We've been getting a lot of like OEM parts in, which I'm super pumped about. I don't know why I love OEM parts. Like
so when I'm building the email today, I looked at one of the new items that populated on the email that I create, and it's like the little screw cover that goes on the dash. I saw that and I got excited.
Yeah,
I don't know why I got excited.
I am the lamest car enthusiast in the world. Like the fact that I get excited about like OEM parts and I'm like, ooh, but like I like OEM plus. So for example, we got like a 2017 BRZ intake manifold, the red aluminum intake manifold. Man, if I had a previous gen BRZ, I guess it's not a generation, but if I had a previous year BRZ, I would have a hard time not buying that for my car. Subaru, I think Subaru claims like 5 horsepower or something.
They said like 5 or 10 horsepower.
I don't think so. I really would have a hard time believing that's but another thing I get excited about, I'm just gonna walk off camera here. Look at this. Okay. So this might appear to be a normal bottle of oil for everybody else. And like you go down and it's like Subaru, professionally used, certified synthetic motor oil, SA85W30, formulated for improved fuel economy, full synthetic, right? But this, and they don't even advertise it, this is Idemitsu oil. This is like legit JDM, like Herafresh, Boso Yaku style motor oil, like straight from Japan. And it's in this like very simple looking gold bottle. But I used to have to like special order this stuff. I think I got it from like Japan Parts or something way back in the day. I can't remember where I got it from, but I would get like the black filters and this because I'm like, if the Subaru engineers wanted it in the car, then that's what I'm going to do because I am a lame person. But it's really cool that we have stuff like this now. But I really like, James says, it's oil, nothing more. It's Idemitsu oil. That's exactly what it is. It is oil.
Fight me.
Yeah, it's a special oil. And I don't even care. If people want to go run, Pennzoil in their car, I really could care less. But the fact that we carry this because, even though James says it's oil, nothing more, there are a lot of people out there who like stuff like this or who want to like stuff like this, but because Subaru packages it in the lamest container possible, literally what it should say is it should come with like the JDM noob driving sticker hanging off to the side, a drift charm on this side, and then just JDM, like 90s JDM writing all the way down the front. And then people would be like, wait, is that JDM oil? Like, yeah, actually it is.
So like, here's the thing. When people say oil's oil, guess what? Those are the same people that say water is water.
I drink water out of like a 5-year-old smart water bottle. Yeah. Because water is water to me, but I will pay more money for oil.
But at work, I drink this water, but at home, it's all about Voss.
That Voss, that shiny glass Voss bottle.
That I've spiked a few times.
Justin says, that's the cheapest stuff they could put in that would not let the motor blow up. I disagree, actually. I really do think so. Subaru, one of the big things I like about a lot of Japanese manufacturers is, now I feel like they're not so much anymore doing this, but I swear they used to not go with the lowest bidder, right? Because I look at a lot of things on American cars, for example, and I'm like, oh, this part was definitely the lowest bidder. Like, and they're like, everyone else was at like 30 cents for this part, and someone came in at like a penny and a half, and they're like, hey, I don't know what you did, but we're gonna go with you because yeah. And Subaru though uses really high quality stuff. Like they use Nippon Seiki for their gauges, they use Takata, and I know there's a lot of Takata jokes out there, but they use Takata for their airbags and their seat belts and stuff like that, and they use Denso, NGK, Koyo, NTK, a lot of high-end manufacturing, the stuff that's not the cheapest by any stretch of the imagination, and that's what they use like in the factory. And I like that. And this is another example. Idemitsu is actually a very legitimate high-end motor oil, and I'm stoked. And so, yes, a lot of people, you can make fun of the fact that I kind of get excited in the pants about motor oil, but this is just one of those cool little things that, in my opinion, is kind of a special thing. But the only problem with it, in my opinion, is that it is a consumable that is a very quick consumable. Because I can understand, like, if someone goes out and they're like, I can get like eBay brand clutch for $300, or I can get like an Exetti stage 1 or something. They're both rated the same. And they're like, well, it's a clutch. It's going to wear out eventually, but it has a long life, right?
Yeah.
And so you can justify the extra price. But this, because if you do change your oil every 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever the interval you're comfortable with, this is not cheap.
No.
So, but it's cool. Anyway, I like that kind of stuff. All right. I don't know. I'm getting off topic.
Sorry, I'm still having computer problems. I can't pull crap up, so.
Pumpkin it's shocking. Pumpkin is having computer problems on his computer from 2007.
8, thank you.
Is it really a 2008?
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
I haven't restored it once.
That's really cool, actually. Wait, someone said, Takata blocked me on Instagram for making an airbag joke. You know what's funny? So Andrew said that. You know what's funny is I used to, when I was in high school in auto shop class, like I would always joke about airbag manufacturers, like on a Friday or something, they just get really drunk and instead of like putting an airbag in, they would just put like shrapnel or whatever they could find, like just dirt and debris from the shop floor, and they would just pack it in the device. And
this
like,
makes this exciting.
And it's funny because basically Takata did exactly that. But actually, I love Takata. I'm a big fan of Takata. Yeah, it's just they did go with the lowest bidder, unfortunately.
Yep. And that just bit in the rear.
Dude, people are saying my hair is on point. I swear I'm going to get a haircut. I'm hoping to get a haircut this weekend. It's just, I don't know, like I just don't care. I should care, especially being in front of the camera. I really should, but it's hard for me to care about my hair. Did you guys see my fresh jacket? What's up, champion? Yeah. It's so soft.
You're going to be wearing that for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably.
You got to break it in, right? You got
Jake, hold on. This is an important question. Jake 10K says, "Am I gay if I put underglow on my car?" No. Rollerblading actually is what causes that. If you don't get the joke, look it up on the interwebs. No, I think underglow. I know underglow was starting to make a comeback there for a little bit, and I think it kind of is. It is not as big as it was like circa 2002.
It's more accentual now instead of like just flamboyant.
Yeah, but like I think we recently brought in Subaru OE footwell, like where your feet go, the footwell lights,
and then the puddle lights were
so like even if OEMs are doing it, and then he says, what if it's a Prius? Even better, man. Let people know, as long as the color is green and you have like either a sticker or a custom license plate that says something about like, never stopping at a gas station or F gas or
wire it in to when it uses electrical motor only. The green lights come on.
It'd be a little less economical, but it'd be definitely able to rub it in people's face a little bit more. So like, there's definitely pros and cons there. XX Calstar 94XX, dude, that dude came up with his name and like. What would that have to be? Yeah, 2005. Anyway, he says, what happened to the giveaway? Nothing. Giveaway's still rocking and rolling. I think I basically, from what I understand, is the company that does like they actually compile all the names, right? So I think what had happened was we had how would you say, an overwhelming response over their excess. Yeah, our cup overfloweth, right, with entries. And so I think it was taking them a little bit longer. I've heard that they're close or something like that. So
should be really close. Like people are like, I'm just waiting with my phone. Guess what? So are we.
Yeah, we're waiting too. So like we're really excited to do it, but it's just and I get it because I think last Facebook Live or the one before we said it'd probably be on the 24th, which has already gone and passed. That's when they told us, it takes usually about 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's what we were telling you guys, full transparency. And
in the official rules, so like we're not hiding anything.
What did it say? I don't even know if I ever read the official rules.
On or around April 24th.
Oh, I didn't know that. So there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, but we're getting close. I apologize. I'm sure a lot of people are impatient. They want to win. Secret hair sauce. Honestly, genetics has a big big part to do with it.
Genetics into your head underneath water.
No, not dumping your head underneath water. That's called a shower, bro.
You do that when you do videos, though.
Sometimes, actually, again, full transparency. If you guys want to know how I operate, I will come into work with messy hair because, like, I wake up early. I've got things to do. I come in, and if I know I'm going to be shooting videos, like, I try to look decent in the morning, but sometimes I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to get, like, these videos done. I will literally go to the bathroom and just wet down my hair, and then I try to go stand outside for, like, 5 minutes so I don't look like an idiot. Anyway, thank you for bringing that up. I'm pretty sure that needed to be discussed.
It's very important. People need to know what you do to make you.
Thanks. Derek says, question. So we can get away from oil, LOL, very LOL. Are there any differences between the trunk lid on the 15WX STI to current model 2018 tech or anything? No, I really don't think so. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. Just like...
Because I think on the rear end, all they did was change the bumpers just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the bumpers.
I think really very minor changes, but no, nothing to the trunk lid that I am aware of. Yeah. So, Ty says, how much taxes on the STI? I think it depends on your state.
Yeah, ask your accountant about that.
Ask your lawyers. Go call up Elon Musk, your buddy Elon, and see if you can talk to his attorneys about that. Who has an accountant? Do you have an accountant?
The wife has a family accountant. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, not all of us are big baller like you. So, okay. Oh man, your audio is going all wonky, quiet, then really loud. I don't know. Is it still going weird?
Right. Who's talking when it gets wonky? Me or Rick?
Testing. Oh, I see it spiking. Yeah, that's really odd. I don't know why.
Yeah, holy crap. Look at that. Oh no, mine's doing all right. Look at the
I don't know. Just lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, just deal with it. I'm sorry. I know I can see it spiking, and I apologize. I have no idea. I really have no idea why it's like that. Maybe like this just needs some love or something.
Or move the mic down on one of your drawstrings.
I can move the mic down. Good thing I got this new Champion sweater.
Rick is loud as balls.
Thank you. Anyway, okay. So Pumpkin recently had a friend ask him what car to get for $15,000.
Yes.
He said fun, semi-reliable, and in a way convenient, whatever that means.
To where it's not like you can actually, like, a perfect example, you can put a set of golf clubs in the trunk. You can put some or something
that's
like
convenient. Or a child.
Or a child, or a dead body if you need to get one, and hurry.
Okay, so under 15K.
And I'd also have to say probably like in the last 10 years, like last 10, 15 years.
I would do an FRS.
But would you put your child in the back of an FRS?
Yes, 100%. Derek says last gen GTI or SI. That's good. Yeah, GTI would be awesome. Would be that's such like that, and it's always a car that I overlook. I think because the GTI is so weird because it is such a not a special car, but then it is so special on that same side of the coin. Like what makes it so special makes it not special, not remarkable in any way, shape, or form. Like you look at it, it's like I guess kind of like the Ford Focus RS. Let's compare it to the RS, right? Okay. So you have a hatchback, started off as like a family car, right? And then it's just all modified and fast, but still like, I guess the RS isn't all that comfortable, but it looks like just a normal car. But then underneath is what's special. But the problem with the GTI is that there's like a billion of them. Literally a billion of them. Thank you. I had pizza for lunch, and it tastes really good though. When you burp, it just tastes amazing. But yeah, the GTI yes, but yeah, the GTI there's nothing incredibly special about it. But it's like just one of those cars that I don't think anybody could drive one and be like, I didn't like that. Like I just don't like the GTI driving experience. You know, I'm just and they'd literally have to close their eyes when they said it because they would be a pretentious dickwad basically to say that because. If anybody doesn't like the GTI, they either one, don't know what the hell they're talking about, or two, all they drive are like Lamborghini Mercy. Yo, chick, she's so thirsty. And they probably don't even care about Volkswagens, you know, like they woke up in a brand new Bugatti and every day, right? And so it's like, that's basically it. You either don't know anything about cars and you hear people talking about the GTR and the Supra and the Skyline, and those are the cool cars, man. Those are the only good cars in the world. Or you're an idiot. Or you actually drive legitimately better cars, and the GTI is a crappy car to drive.
Because also then when you go into this whole thing, when you talk about it, is so say like you had 15 grand and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to go buy a Corolla, like that was brought up, like Justin. Get a Corolla, but then you have the same people, it's like, dude, you have 15 grand to spend? Why wouldn't you go get an E55 AMG?
Right.
And you're like, I want something that's still going to be kind of reliable.
Yeah.
Not one that was built in 2004 on a Friday.
Travis says R32 is a super fun car. When you say R32, Rick doesn't know if you're talking about the R32 Volkswagen or the R32 Skyline. So there's a...
I'm assuming the GTI, because you were just going off on the GTI tangent.
That's true.
That's what I'd go with. But even though at that point in R32, you can get one for 50.
Someone said, Travis said, FRS in the winter with a kid, Rick.
Yeah, so... Would you put your kid...
Put on some snow tires.
Well, when you're walking on ice, you're trying to put the kid in.
Oh, maybe that. I could see that being... Yeah, getting them in the back seat might be a problem.
Just throw her in there. That's fine.
Oh. You can maybe pull Mazda Speed 3 for 15K. Yeah.
First gens go for that.
Yeah. You could go get yourself, here's a really good idea, an FC Turbo 2 RX-7. Dun, dun, dun. You have reliability. You have stunning looks. The FC is okay, I'll just shut up.
Well, and it's a future issue.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would
promise that we're not eating our mics, okay?
Is someone still complaining about it?
Yeah, they're like...
Deal with it, bros. I'm sorry. I know audio is like a big thing, and it sucks, and I apologize. I have no idea what it is. It's like, and it seems to be hit and miss whether it's going to work or not.
I will say it, since it's one of the IT people. If you want to come and try to fix it when we're done live, go ahead.
Travis says 07 STI limited, fun and luxury. Luxury, definitely not. I would never consider any STI to be luxurious. Luxury compared to like a wooden roller coaster, maybe, for sure. Like go ride a wooden roller coaster like all day. Like stay in a wooden roller coaster for 6 hours, eat your lunch in there, you know, listen to music, just riding the wooden roller coaster all day. Get back in your STI, and I guarantee you'll be like, wow, this thing is like really nice.
The chatter's still the same, makes the same creaky sound.
Yeah, but yeah, I would not call the even if it has leather. But the STI isn't a bad car. It's not super stiff. It really is like. I think the STI is a perfect balance a perfect Japanese balance. And I must specify that because there's a big difference between German balance and Japanese balance, but a perfect Japanese balance between sportiness and comfort. And I think they actually do a really good job. So I would still recommend an FRS.
So he was saying he goes much more luxury than my 06 WRX. I'm going to go and say that your 06 WRX is about the same level.
Yeah.
Especially with 07 Limited, like very little difference in the spring rates. And like since you have an 06, you have the aluminum control arm, so there's no benefit of getting an STI over that. And then power-wise, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway. This is a good one. And this is a good question for everybody out there. What are some sensitive car stereotypes that people should let go of, or this scene isn't for you? So I've got some. I need to let go of
lots of stereotypes.
Stance kids.
Okay.
Stance cars in general. Like, and I'm not talking about like lowered, flush wheel fitment, because that it can actually look like we go to a lot of shows, and I see a lot of different cars, but so a car basically either needs to be like very clean for me personally, very clean and very well done. Like good tire fitment, like no rubbing, but I like it when they get them really close, right? Like some people are really good at like picking the right offset, the right tire, everything just looks really properly done. Like they've really done their homework on it. It either needs to be that, or remember at Stance Fest, the bug that we saw, Scrape Fest, the bug that we saw, the Volkswagen bug with like
the ratchet.
Literally said ratchet on the back. It was the most beautiful catastrophe. It was like looking like watching something get destroyed and just being like in awe because it's just of its destructive force. You're like, there's something beautiful about watching this thing just destroy it. That's what it is. It's like you have this thing that was so horrible, it was beautiful. Had like hentai porn all over it. It had, like the wheels were ridiculous. It had like the Boso Yoku exhaust sticking way up out of it.
Had a big ass wing too.
Had a huge wing on it, and it was scraped up and then painted, like they clear coated over rust or something. Like it literally was a definition of ratchet, and it was one of my favorite cars there.
You know what it is? You go, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed.
Yeah, exactly. I was super impressed. Like I'm like, this is the coolest car that I've seen in a long time, just because it was so different. So I was watching. I don't know why I got on, and I keep on saying Bosu Yoku. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think me and another coworker here, I asked him how to pronounce it, and I went down to YouTube Boso Yoku Kick. I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And those, I got so stoked about watching all these different videos on at these meets and stuff like that. And like the Bozu Yokus, and they just come through like revving their engines. And like, I'm just like, there's something really cool about that. I don't know why I should hate it.
It's like the Japanese car version of Rough Riders.
Yeah. But it's so cool. I really, really like it. Derek says new WRX and vaping. Yeah. I don't know how that stereotype.
Find the origin for that.
So Kent says Bao So Zoku. I don't think that's it, sir. I think you need to get your pronunciations down.
I don't think you're
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, Miatas? Someone said something about Miatas.
Benjamin will talk about Miatas.
What, about hairdressers?
I hate the stereotype that still exists that only women and gays drive Miatas. People are missing out on a great car because they throw its ownership into a category. Dude, Subaru had to fight so hard to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing, because it's everyone. It's like they don't like the stereotypes. Like you can go into the Mustangs and stuff like that. One of the stereotype Mustangs always kill crowds.
But that's a funny one.
I know, but that's what's funny. But then there's the people on the receiving end, on the backside, who take it way too seriously.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, just let it go. Like for me, I have an automatic WRX. You know how much I care about people saying that? None. I think it's funny in a sense.
In traffic, I bet you care even less.
I smile when I'm in traffic.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of dumb stereotypes.
Die?
Here, give him sign language. I might be able to fix this.
I'm throwing up blood. Does that work?
Yes.
Back? What are you talking about? Back? That's dead. Batteries died.
Hey, you gotta entertain him, pumpkin.
I have nothing to give right now. What's taking you so long?
I don't know what happened. Both of them just shut off, like at the same time. Can you guys hear us now?
Yeah, Facebook said audio's good, and there we go.
Oh man, someone did gang signs?
I did. I threw blood.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I always wanted to do gang signs. Like I always wanted to learn them, even though like I couldn't, my fingers wouldn't bend in the right direction. But anyway, what I was going to say is I feel like Miatas have a new stereotype in which the owners, all they talk about are how good Miatas are. Like why they're the best car in the world, and why anybody who doesn't drive a Miata doesn't know what pure driving experience looks like. And they're too scared to own a Miata because they're afraid of the hairdresser stereotype. But if they really just got in and drove one, they would secretly fall in love with it. And all they would ever own from this point on is Miatas. And they would have to own an NA Miata because the NA is the most pure form of Miata-ness. Or does that sound about right?
And espressos.
And espressos. That's right. Yeah.
But that's a stereotype. But then now here we go into driving stereotypes.
Oh.
What kind of driving stereotypes drive you insane? Like people who always drive with their high beams on, or the people who hug the right side of the lane or hug the left side of the lane, or the guys who don't use the on-ramp to freaking accelerate.
That's my biggest one. But those aren't stereotypes, because the stereotype would have to be Asian drivers are bad drivers. Women drivers are bad drivers.
Okay, true. Okay, then we'll do that pet peeve then.
Go for it. You do it. I don't, because I love everybody on the road. Everybody is my favorite.
Oh, you've ridden with me. You know how mad I get.
I don't get mad at all.
Yeah, you don't get mad. I do.
Why? Okay, Randy says Asians are bad drivers. I'm not going to get into this, but I want to know why. Because the way I look at it, so I've seen videos in Asia of people on motor scooters driving like they're all doing 30 miles an hour, and there's about 500 million people in a square block, a city block. Okay. And none of them wreck.
Until you see the gnarly ones on Reddit.
Until you see the gnarly ones. But they are all fine. They're all like excellent drivers. They're all paying attention to all their surroundings. Maybe, just maybe, it's, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of...
They say that backwards day one time in the U.S. and see what happens.
Didn't they do that somewhere? Didn't they, in Sweden?
In Australia, they switched it over.
I thought it was somewhere in Europe. One day they decided to switch, and they had a big problem, so they eventually switched it back. Yeah. And that's another question I have, is how do... I've heard that the reason why some people or some countries drive on the left-hand side of the road, because that's, back in the olden days of horses and stuff, like people were predominantly right-handed. And so they would ride on the left-hand side of the road to be able to attack with their sword to the person on their right? So it's like you have that flow of traffic. That's what I've heard. Is that even true? But then why? It just seems odd. It seems like the world should come together right now over my idea, and everyone should be on the same page. We should either be all left-hand drive or all right-hand drive, just like everybody should switch to the metric system.
Thank you, Jesus.
What's better, left-hand drive or right-hand drive?
Well, because here's the thing, for me,
I would argue right-hand drive.
Right-hand drive
is better, because then you can drive with your right hand. Yeah. And shifting with your left isn't all that important. But I feel like if you're predominantly right-handed, the majority of people are, then wouldn't controlling the car with your dominant hand be more important than being able to shift the car with your dominant hand?
Oh, no. Because here's the thing. You've naturally have learned, and most people have, is how to drive with their left hand only. Yeah. So you've learned that. It's just kind of in that sense, it would be like saying what happens if apple wasn't the word for apple?
Whoa! What?
It's
now we're getting deep. Hold up, everybody.
All right, here we go. Okay.
Prepare to have your mind blown by pumpkin. He said, "What if the word apple wasn't actually the word for an apple?"
Yeah. It's like, here's the whole thing. Like,
where are you going with this?
Hey, no, because like you were born and raised and driven and bred as a God-loving American to drive a left-hand drive car.
Yeah.
Well, you got the people in
Mustang.
Japan, the people in Japan and like Australia.
And Europe and everywhere else in the world, basically. Not everywhere. There's a lot of left-hand.
Yeah, a lot of left-hand drive. And like they got right-hand drive cars.
Right.
They were born on that, bred into that. But then you have the UK where they
have
both.
Do you want to know why? Oh, dang it, you just ruined my joke. I was going to say, do you want to know why Europe has right-hand drive cars? Because they lost the war.
Oh.
I don't know. I was going to say something funny, and then you just ruined it. So.
And I don't ruin anything except for a good night's sleep.
Right-hand drive is easier for the clutch and gas. I don't think right-hand drive has anything to do with the clutch and gas, does it? Unless your foot naturally wants to rest on the, inner fender or footwell or something. I don't know. I wouldn't think that makes a difference. I've driven right-hand drive vehicles and I never had a problem other than the blinkers and the turn signals. I would always not blinkers. Windshield wipers and turn signals. Every time I wanted to change lanes, I would turn on the windshield wipers, which everyone should know. That just means that guy's probably wanting to go left.
He looks panicked. He looks
He's
just going to come over.
And yes. But he says, but I feel better too shifting with my right hand, but I guarantee you if I drove a right hand drive car for like 3 days, it's just everyone always complains about like going from a manual and getting into an automatic and stabbing the brake pedal.
Yeah.
I never have that problem. I can adapt to things so easily, particularly in cars, that I always just imagine when people say that kind of stuff that they're just not good at driving. But I think even people who are excellent drivers, you just develop such a muscle memory that it just, you do stuff like that, even though you probably know how to drive way better than I do. But I never had.
Well, it's just like me. You've experienced this firsthand in a very violent fashion.
With you driving the STI.
So
nobody if you guys win the STI, just burn it because this guy drove it, just about broke it. He was watching him try to take off.
And I got size 14 feet. Okay?
Watching him get nervous in front of cops and try to take off gently with a super loud exhaust from a stoplight in front of like 20 cops
dual clutch
was the best thing in the world. Like I've never, you know how bulls, like the bucking, what do they call them? The riding bulls?
Yeah.
I don't know, those angry bulls where they tie their gents up and, they just have that violent, like just back and forth motion. That's basically what the STI did until I think he figured it out and clutched in. And
yeah, I figured it out. I had big feet. I mean, I have big feet. It's not like I had big feet. I do have big feet.
You do have big feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
But no, that's what happens. Like even when we've done the exhaust videos, is I'm so used to driving the automatic is that when I get into the manual, it takes me a minute to remember how to do that because your daily's a manual.
Yeah.
So you're used to.
But I can adapt to it.
You can adapt to it, and like that's how like I am. Like it takes me like a good little distance to go to adapt to it because every car has its different bite points. But then it's like again as you're saying, like right hand drive, left hand drive.
I have a question for the great people of the inner tubes right now. How many of you, by a raise of hand, by pressing F, actually pressing R, can rev match downshift properly?
Ooh.
Give me an R or something, R for rev match. Because I've been curious actually about that. Like how many people have practiced, even if you're not perfect at it, but have practiced before rev match downshifting. I'm genuinely curious to know. Because it's like one of my great enjoyments. So Osiris and Derek, yeah, it's like one of my great enjoyments in driving a manual car. It's one of the things I think I would miss most about driving a manual car are, when you were a kid and you'd play baseball and you would hit, like you just get that perfect hit, or any sport that you swing something and hit something.
Okay.
You get that perfect, like you hit the sweet spot of the bat or the golf club and you get that feeling of like, oh, it just feels good. That's what like a perfectly executed rev match downshift. And I'm not talking like from 3,000 RPMs down to 1,500. I'm talking about from like 6,000, down to like 4228 RPMs, and you just get that sweet spot, and it just falls right in, and everything is brilliant and beautiful, and it's just perfect. There's a good feeling about that. Other than that, I'm actually not a big fan of driving a manual, other than being able to tell the car what gear I want it to be in, and rev match downshifting, I would prefer to drive an automatic every day. But it would be hard for me to give it up because I rev match downshift and
you do it all the time.
Every time, literally every time. And I'm always shifting without the clutch because I just like finding those, points where the RPMs and the speed of the transmission match up. And people are always blown away. Like, I always thought I was cool when people would get in that, were like, they would drive manuals, but they weren't car enthusiasts. And they're like, did you shift without using the clutch? I'm like, yeah, it's super easy. Like you can they're like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. But like, I am very good at it. Someone says I'm not very good at it. I'm not the best at it, but I'm very good at it. I will say I really am not a great driver. Like when it comes to like racing, like, actual racing, like if I were to go out onto a racetrack and give me an equally equipped car with, a bunch of just random people, and I would probably, be mid-pack with random people, not even racing drivers, just random people. I'd probably be mid-pack. Justin says, define properly. You can do it without completely upsetting the balance of the vehicle. So if you try rev match downshifting and the car bucks forward, or you're like, oh, that sucked. That's not doing it properly. But if you can get it to the point where, you can get it and the transition is smooth. You might go up or down a little bit in the RPM, but the transition's smooth enough to where you're not really upsetting the balance of the car. I would say that's proper. Even if it takes you a little bit longer, and I've had to, I call it double dipping. I've had to dip my right foot a few times on the gas just to get it at that right spot. But then it sucks because if you're braking, you got clutch in and you blip your throttle, you expect it to be at a certain point, then you miss it and you're like, oh, okay, now I have to redetermine what my speed is and what RPM, and that's really hard to do. And I always mess up the second one. I never double dip on the.
Well, because when you do it a second time, then you start guessing yourself. And when you actually start thinking about it, that's when you start screwing up.
Joey says, girlfriend never realized my car wasn't an auto for a good month. Kind of sad, but true. Or that means you're an excellent driver. My girlfriend, I had a blue STI and a blue BRZ, and she thought I had one blue car. So
I remember that.
Maybe your girlfriend just isn't, like mine. It's just.
She just doesn't pay attention. Or here's the other thing, is she trusts you so much of you driving that she doesn't even pay attention to the motions that you make.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you are such a good driver that you don't have those like weird upsets. What would you call it? Those weird transitions. I don't know. I'm using all the wrong words today. Like every Friday.
Jerk motion.
Jerking. There you go. You have weird jerking.
When you get a good jerking going on, that's when you know something's wrong.
Oh, this has been an odd Facebook Live.
No, it's not. You can tell Corby to go.
Derek says a gated shifter Lambo V12 would be epic rev matching. How do you guys feel about cars that automatically rev match for you?
Oh, like the 350,
370Z. I didn't know this, but our FRS through the Ecutech Tune, you can put it in a mode that it rev matches for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I was messing around with it the other day, and I had it in whatever mode 3, an aggressive mode. And I was coming up to a light, and I was being lazy, and I didn't rev match it because I think there was like people around, and the FRS is like 3,000 decibels loud. And it just did it. And I'm like, and it tricked me because I'm like, wait, I swear I didn't do it. So then I tried it another time, and it just automatically rev matches for you. And I did not like it very much. The first time I experienced it in I think it was a 350Z. I think it was. I'm like, this is a really cool, neat feature from the factory.
Yeah.
But I would still prefer to learn how to do it by myself.
Well, because it also takes away part of the connection that you have with the car.
I think so. But it's nice, though, because, I feel like it's a good synchronicity between an automatic, which is always going to be faster, like the new automatics. They're always faster, right? But you want to experience a manual transmission car, and maybe you went out and bought a brand new, maybe you're baller, and you went out and bought a brand new 370Z just for a track car. I could totally see that being a very nice feature, because if you really want to get the most out of the car, you turn off traction control, you turn off stability control, and you go out and drive the car, and having it rev match for you entering into corners could save you from spinning off or potentially wadding it into a wall or another car or something. Because if you really upset that balance of that car, and you thought your point was at 6,000 RPMs when it was at whatever 4,000, and you put a lot of that weight of that car forward, and you either lock up the rear tires or you just upset the balance so much that the rear end steps out, game over. You could have wrecked your brand new 370Z. Yeah. That rev match shifting could have saved your life.
Well, Derek on YouTube, he goes, believe it or not, the Chevy Cobalt SS was the first car with that.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that, and I actually said, was it the turbo or supercharged? And he just said turbo, and I believe that because the turbocharged Cobalt SSS was probably one of the best cars of the 2000s. Fight me.
Man said it. Fight him. He says the Cobalt SSS, you had an extra S in there, was the best car of the early 2000s.
Of the mid 2000s. Because it was about 2008, 2009 when it came out, and it was actually a really good car. It was just very sad it took Chevy that long to realize to put the turbocharger instead of supercharging it, because the supercharged Ecotec sucked balls. And the turbo one was actually did a good job and actually beat out the Evo 10 and the STI on track times. And on Button Willow, I beat them.
Yeah,
by seconds, not tenths of seconds.
Out at our local track, some of the fastest guys that would race out in the HPDEs, just like actually no, I think they even did NASA out there, and there was a guy with a SS. I think it was a supercharged one.
Yeah.
But he had basic stuff, like I think he had bushings, coilovers, good tires, proper alignment. I think he had a LSD in it or something like that. And he was always in the top. And the car was so impressively quick through the corners. It was well balanced. Like it made me respect those cars a lot more, because first of all, the SRT came out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like it. I couldn't. They were fast. They were really fast, and I really liked what Dodge did with the staged upgrades from the factory.
Straight from the factory, and they're like, here, and covered warranty.
What a cool freaking thing that was. And they were properly quick, but I could just never get into them. And so I made it my mission as, Rick from Rally Sport.
Rick, the customer service manager.
Yeah, that I would build a car way cheaper than that would beat him. And I did. But thank you. Not because I was smug about it, just because I was too poor to go buy a brand new SRT4. Yeah. So,
not now.
No, now I'm still too poor to buy an SRT4. So even with the depreciation, like a $2,000 STR4, nope, sorry, out of my price range, friends. I can't do it. Yeah, Derek, and basically Derek summed it up in the perfect way. SRT4 always surprised me. Super quick, but still a shitty neon. And that's exactly what it is. But the same could be said for, a lot of cars. I personally think the Nissan GTR is a shitty Nissan. It's a car. I really love driving, and I'm talking about the R35. I should, let's clarify there, because I've never driven, I really want to, but I've never driven 32, 33, or 34 GTR, only in a few R35s. And it reminds me of other than holy crap, this thing handles incredibly well. The performance aspects of it, the handling aspects of it, the engineering that went into it was mind-blowing, except every button I pushed, every rattle that I heard, every transmission judder from that stupid, super quick dual clutch transmission. I'm like, this is just a crappy Nissan that just happens to be bloody quick and very impressive. But all Nissans feel the same to me, and I think are crappy.
Yeah, I don't want to get someone right there. It's massive. The car is too big, the R35.
Oh, it's huge, but it doesn't feel that big when you drive it. To me, it doesn't feel that big. When you drive it, there are certain cars, when you drive, they kind of shrink a little bit, right?
Okay.
You look at it from the outside and you're like, that thing is a barge. It is massive. I'm not how am I even going to tell? Both my wheels are going to be right on the line driving down the road.
Yeah.
But then you drive it and you're like, oh, it actually it feels a lot smaller than it's huge. It's a gigantic car. When I remember the first one I saw when Cobb Tuning had brought in a JDM one,
bring it in,
because they didn't sell them in the US yet. So like, I think they got them in Japan, a year, maybe a few months before we got them here in the US. So they imported one, and it was sitting next to a 04 STI, and it made the STI look miniature, like comically small, because the GTR it has such good proportions on it that it doesn't, in and of itself, it doesn't look big. It looks like a normal size car.
Yeah.
But then compared to an 04 STI isn't a huge, I mean, it's not a particularly small car, and it made it look tiny. So I don't know. I don't even know how we started talking about.
Because we were talking about like the Cobalt SS and like the cars like that. Like they're good cars.
What do you have on here? Amazon can now deliver to your car?
Yeah, Amazon can now deliver packages into your car.
Like into my car? Like it's just my car sitting out in the parking lot?
They have to be equipped with them to be able to come in and do it.
But they can come into your house now. Like if you
they
let
can
them.
come into your house. Same kind of concept, but like GM and Ford, like they're now have a feature to where they can just get into your car. It's the same thing. It's the same cars that are equipped with like Alexa now. Like I don't think I've ever been driving home and just been like, you know what? I should tell Alexa to order me some milk that I'll get in 2 days.
You just wait. I guarantee you, in like 5 years, maybe less or something, like that kind of stuff will be normal. Because it sucks right now, though. Like it sucks right now because you're like, Alexa, order me a pizza, and it's like, okay, calling mom. You're like, no. Like.
Well, even times I'm like, Alexa, what's the weather?
It's not like, near that bad, but it's once people start really diving into the voice aspect of stuff, like I think it's going to be revolutionary to be able to just ask your car without having to say Alexa or okay Google or hey Siri. I think across the board we just made everybody's.
Well, no, here's the thing that's cool. So with the okay Google, my phone's going to kick on right now.
Hey-o.
But it's like trained specifically to my voice. And like, so when it gets to a point to when you're actually going to be thinking about it, like not have to say like a command word or a trip word, like that's going to revolutionize everything.
I think once like AI starts getting in the mix and it can actually understand context, is that right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, because like I can't tell you how many times I have literally said, "Shut the hell up, Google," because it'll just come on randomly.
Yes.
It's like, and I'm just like, and I wish it could understand my anger.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm sorry, Rick. I made a mistake. My programmers will be notified.
Well, because here's what happens: like there'll be one time it'll kick on, and like Google will say something, and you just go STFU Google. Guess what? You just got thrown into Skynet to be assimilated. You
might be. Yeah, you've just like in the contract that you agreed to when you just skipped over it, it literally said, if you're mean to Google or Alexa, you will now be, when you like are almost dead, we can turn you into a cyborg, like the RoboCop.
All right, you have a choice. When you die, become a cyborg or become a tree.
I want to be a tree man.
You want to be a tree man?
Yeah, because I'm a hippie. But anyway, okay. I think that's good for today. I feel like that went really well.
Travis said I turned on his Google. That's cool.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you guys have a similar voice. Ty says cars and coffee coming back. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Not in the sense that it was before. We would love to do like a meet or something here, but it was just, I don't know. It's just too much for us to like. We're so busy, and it's hard. Like, you guys want to come hang out in our parking lot, go for it. And then also, so Stop Tech, 20% off. If you need anything Stop Tech, brake related, whether you're looking for pads, calipers, rotors, lines, brake fluid, seriously, get yourself some good brakes. If you haven't experienced proper brakes on your car, do it. And with 20% off, I think now is a good time to do it. That sounded really dumb. Just get some brakes on your car so you can stop that.
It's worth it because here's the thing. If you can't remember the last time you replaced your brakes, replace your brakes.
I actually might be upgrading my brakes this springtime. White Line, extra 25% off. Springs, sway bars, anti-roll center adjustment kit. I'm getting all mixed up here. And their Grip Series 1 kits. InGen Technologies for your suck on your car. An extra 10% off. Get yourself some more power, some better sound. And that is it. We hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back next Friday, maybe with some bigger news for you. Since every single person is like, when's the giveaway?
Every single social post. What's happening at the car? What's the giveaway?
You don't think we would let you guys know? Like, yeah, we're going to withhold that information. Yeah.
Yeah.
My L boss said we will definitely announce it next week. Basically, it's, we are at the mercy of the company that's doing
selecting the winner.
There you go.
So when we know, you'll know.
Anyway, we appreciate it. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Do something nice for your car. Give your girlfriend a kiss. Give her some loves. Tell her that you like her more than your vehicle, and try to make it convincing. Anyway, we will see you guys next week, and goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Bye.